We're hitting the trail on this week's edition of Liberty at Home. Welcome back to our latest edition of Liberty at Home, powered by the good folks at Easton Community Access Television and produced by Liberty Baptist Church, where I, Adam RIVEIRO, am the pastor. Today, as always, we're broadcasting from ECAT Studios, where I'm starting to get ready from the sports desk for all of our Ames baseball season, if all the snow melts in the next month. Today, I want to relate an experience I had a few years ago on a trail and how it got my mind thinking about the cross of Christ. But before I begin, let's read today's text, which is Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. Wherefore, seeing we are also compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. A while back, I was staying at a hotel in Springfield, Massachusetts, that was close to downtown and a few blocks from the Connecticut River. I noticed on a map that there was a trail that ran beside the downtown area with the river on one side and the Springfield skyline on the other. This piqued my interest since my normal running route involves running around the parking lots of Target and the Big Y. Relishing the change of scenery, I laced up my shoes and went out to the trail. But as I was running, I noticed the terrain had a bit more elevation than I was used to. Those parking lots I normally run on are pretty flat. The farther I went, the more hilly it seemed. Now, look, it was no Heartbreak Hill, mind you, but it was more than I was used to. I made it to one end and then doubled back to retrace my steps and then run a little bit further in the other direction. As I was nearing the end of my 5-kilometer run that I was trying to run, I saw it. There it stood, a behemoth of steel and wire in the distance. It was a pedestrian bridge that went over the railroad tracks. I'm not sure how tall it was, but it might as well have been as tall as the Prudential Center. Between the different terrain and how hard I'd been pushing myself, I didn't think I had it in the tank to keep going. Yet I pushed ahead, too stubborn to stop. My legs throbbed, my chest heaved as I pushed myself to the limit, unwilling to slow down or walk. As I finally crested the top of the bridge and started my descent, I noticed something I never expected to see on a running trail. I saw ahead in the distance a handmade wooden cross. It was so out of place that it was jarring. Now, when I was done with my run, I circled back around to take a better look at the cross. And immediately, I thought about how my body was screaming at me a few moments before. Going up that hill, I didn't think I could make it. Yet on the other side, there was the cross, the symbol of Jesus Christ. You know, Christ was perfect in every way, yet wicked men laid a cross upon his back. He went up a much different hill, the hill of Golgotha, for you and me. As he went, he was in complete and utter agony. When he made it to the top, they nailed his hands and feet to the cross he had carried. Immediately, I compared my suffering to his and considered the fact that what I endured was minimal and lasted but a brief moment. But what he endured was agony unlike ever recorded. Yet through the immense agony and pain, Christ endured it willingly. We just read it in Hebrews 12, verse 2. It says, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. Why would he do that? Well, Hebrews 13, verse 12 answers when it says, therefore Jesus also, that he might sanctify the people through his own blood, suffered outside the gate. Through the blood he so willingly shed on the cross, we can have our sins forgiven. Knowing that man would be able to be reconciled to God brought him great joy. As it says in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2, the cross at the end of my trail, well, it was a vivid reminder of what Christ did for me. Yet his sacrifice was not just for me, but for the entire world. Take some time today to consider his cross and how you must heed its holy call. Well, thanks for joining us on today's episode of Liberty at Home. We may be done for this episode, but don't forget that you can always find us at Liberty Baptist Church. We're located at 800 Washington Street on Route 138 here in Easton. Call or text the church for more information at 508-565-8281 or look us up at mylibertybaptist.org. It's time to go, so until next week, I'll say that I'm Adam RIVEIRO, reminding you that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's liberty. Catch you next week on ECAT for Liberty at Home.